Hi, I'm here with Marcus Ogden of Ogden Ventures LLC. Marcus is a former NFL offensive lineman, so don't mess with him. But now he's doing other things in business. So, hi, Marcus. Tell me what you're doing now.
Hi, Elizabeth. Yes, I'm Marcus Ogden. I am a former NFL athlete. I got out of football in 2008 and I built a massive construction business between 2008 and 2012. Unfortunately, in 2013, my business went bankrupt when I really became a horrible boss who was ego driven, didn't listen to anyone instead of a good, sound leader. And I had to file a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. I lost my home. Both my cars were repossessed. And when I moved down to Raleigh, North Carolina, which was April 2013, I had $400 to my name. That's all I had left. I had millions of dollars the year before, got here in 2013, Elizabeth, $400 to my name, and that's it.
So, what are you using that experience to do now? How is it affecting your life now?
So now I am a national, international keynote speaker. I do virtual events as well because, of course, the COVID times. I do a lot of webinars right now, do a lot of executive coaching. I do some group coaching, some consulting. I'm a brand ambassador, and I'm also a two-time best-selling author. Our first book was called Sleepless Nights. It came out in 2015. And our second book, which is actually in Barnes& Noble's bookstores all across the country and online, Amazon, Barnes& Noble, is called The Success Cycle. And that came out January 28th of 2020.
Wonderful. So, who hires you? What type of people hire you to do their speaking, their coaching, especially?
Oh, I get hired by a lot of the massive organizations. I've been very fortunate, Elizabeth, very blessed, have worked hard as well. In the last 4 years, I've worked for 17 Fortune 500 companies. Of the 17, 10 are Fortune 100. I've worked for companies like AXA Advisors, JP Morgan and Chase, Merrill Lynch, Bank of America, Cisco Technologies, Siemens Diversity Group. I've worked for New York Life, MetLife, Liberty Mutual Insurance. So I get hired by a lot of organizations, financial planning, insurance, a lot of real estate companies, mortgage companies, title companies. So really, I've done some nonprofit work, some education work, but I really started out in the youth space of sports. And as I started to grow more of an archive and more of a name in the industry, I got my first corporate job for NetApp. They're Fortune 500. They're based out of San Jose. I did something for them in downtown Chicago. That was 2016. And ever since then, it's just started to get more companies and grow more businesses and get more testimonials. And I look up now, I've worked for, again, 17 Fortune 500 companies. Of the 17, 10 are Fortune 100. And we're very blessed by that. We'll continue to grow and work for more clients to help people give them value to get to where they're trying to go.
So, do you work with non-corporate clients as well?
Yes, ma'am. I've worked for sports organizations, the National Football League. I've worked for colleges, different sports teams, athletic teams. Again, that's where I started in the business. I do more corporate now, but again, I still will get you. I have a job this Saturday that's over in Durham. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's in Durham. That's for youth football players and coaches around my story and helping them to, be inspired, because a lot of them are coming from some tough backgrounds, economic or social impact. And, I'm trying to help inspire them and give them some hope that, because I'm from that type of growth background in Washington, D.C. myself. So it was some hard work and some good pillars to how to succeed in life, Elizabeth. They can get out of any situation and be what they want to be in life.
That's beautiful. So that's wonderful that you're doing that. If an entrepreneur that was maybe had a business worth $1 million a year or something wanted your services, do you work with that kind of person?
Yes, ma'am. I have a lot of clients who are entrepreneurs. They might be real estate investors. They might own different businesses. They might be franchise owners. I have clients who are in the financial planning space. I have clients who are in the insurance space. Clients that want to be speakers. So really, it could be anybody that could be have $1 million business, or someone that's an executive person in an organization wants to become a better leader. It could be a business that's just starting out. I mean, I work with all types of clients. And again, the key is I need to know, where are you now? where do you want to go? And then I can offer you some type of a roadmap. And if you think the roadmap makes sense for you and your business venture, we can work together. And I tell people all the time, I'm not a pushy salesman because I don't have to be aggressive. When I meet people, we have a conversation. I follow up. If they work with me, great. If not, I wish them the best of luck. And, because again, I could work for everybody, but it's about who fits to what we're trying to do to help them get where they're trying to go.
So one of the first things you do then is an intake conversation. And then what does a typical roadmap look like? If I wanted to hire you, say, I mean, I'm not there yet with Fireside, but let's say a year from now, Fireside is actually starting to make some money and I need to take it to the next level and I want to hire you. What are some of the things we do together?
So it depends. So first, we're going to talk about, okay, where are you? What are you making? Who's your target audience? What are you selling? What is your products and services? Once I know what your products and services are, your price point, and your market, we then start talking about how to help you understand some of the ways to reach your audience in a more efficient way, either through social selling, which could be social media, it could be writing different blogs, it could be creating content. We could talk about how when you get to those points of actually getting people to want to work with you, how to close the sale. We go through the sales process for us, and I work with clients on this from start to finish. We work on leadership assessment exams to help you understand what people are looking for when it comes to having a good, strong foundation of you being a leader. Because if you're a sound thought leader in your industry, Elizabeth, people are going to want to hire you. So a lot of that information, we kind of go through some other assessments and critical things we talk about. One of the things I love talking about a lot is pattern recognition, getting to know who your client base is, who they are, what drives them, what emotionally will connect you to them to help you gain the sale. That's another one we talk about. It could be around, well, okay, if you're trying to help get people to be inspired by what you're doing, how to do certain talking points, So really, Elizabeth, it comes down to who you are, what is the product you're selling and services, who's your target audience. And then from that point, we'll build a very, very specific, customized approach and plan to help you. I don't have any clients where it's the same cookie cutter program because everybody's different. So it's all about you, who you are, where you want to go, and we build out your plan of action from there.
So do you have connections with other people that you refer people to, like associates that you work with that would do part of what they need?
Well, yes, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Somebody wants help with the website, I have a good website person. Somebody wants someone to help with content creation, I have that for them. Somebody wants help with some branding and marketing, I have that for them. If you want to learn how to copyright or trademark an item, I have somebody that can do that. We have people that can do videography, depending upon, of course, where you are, that might be able to be in your area to help you with that. So yes, I've been very fortunate over the last, I started, almost 7 years ago, almost 7 years now, to build a phenomenal team of people who are part of our brand and team, but also they do their own work. They have their own client base. And I encourage that because I want them to, live their best life. So we definitely have access to people to help, whomever we're talking to or working with get some other things they might need to get where they're trying to go.
So those are the nuts and bolts. But what I'm hearing from you is that the real value of working with you is that you've been there, you've built a successful business, you screwed up, you know where you screwed up, and you know why. And that is really the wisdom. I've heard that people learn more from a failed business than a successful one oftentimes. Nobody wants to fail, obviously, but you have that wisdom you can impart that other people may not have.
Yes, Elizabeth. I started my business when I was 27 years old, and by the time I was barely 30. I was a few months past my 30th birthday. I had an 8-figure a year producing business in an industry, Elizabeth, I knew nothing about. I didn't know anything about construction. I was not a construction guru. What I was good at was building the right team with the right partner, with the right, people, the right processes, the right systems. And that's what business is, because the human mind is not designed to do everything. It's designed to do a lot of things, but not everything. So if you try to do everything by yourself, you're going to miss something. So it's important that you understand how do you build things like, there's three things that I work with my clients on, three main things that we always talk about early in the process. The first one is going to be operational excellence. Things like internal communication, external communication, delegation of tasks. So that's number one critical. Two is going to be quality product and client satisfaction. If your product is no good or it's not giving clients satisfaction or satisfactory remarks to tell the people, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because people are not going to what? Refer you new business. And the third one is excellent customer service, allowing for good feedback and process. So if you know something's working, you can continue to do so. Something's not working, how do you fix it? So these are things that I talk about with my clients early throughout their coaching, and we build on that because, again, when I had my 8-figure business, we did these things correctly. But what happens to a lot of people is they get mesmerized by early success like I did. And when you do that, you open yourself up to being vulnerable, to making mistakes. And that's what I did. One of my best team members, Elizabeth, tried to tell me, Marcus, I'm looking at the numbers. If we don't make a change right now, 6 months, we're going to be bankrupt. And I told him, I said, Colin, what are you talking about? We got a line of credit over here. We got this job going on. We're getting all this work. He said, well, Marcus, we're not putting people on other jobs. We're putting too many people on this one job. I said, Colin, go home. You're making a mistake. Have a good weekend. He came back the following Monday, Elizabeth. He handed me his 2-week resignation papers. 6 months later, I'm bankrupt, just like he said. So a lot of times I tell people, you're hiring me to help you avoid my catastrophic mistakes. One of my biggest clients is a food product company. They're a $1 billion a year food product company. They have over 1,500 employees, and they're in the heartland of our country. I've been working with them now for almost 6 months on different group coaching calls. And one thing we're really working on with them is how to set up processes for internal feedback to be given from the sales team to the leadership team without it causing potential stress if the leadership team doesn't like what the customer feedback might be saying coming from that sales team member. The sales team member doesn't want to say it, but like, well, if I don't have an account or I've lost business on that account, I have to be honest with my boss and say, hey, boss, this is what they're saying. And sometimes the leadership team, it's not well received, which is, I mean, we're human beings. So we're trying to work through that to help them go from where they are, which is very, very successful, to even a higher level. So again, I work with a lot of companies, a lot of people, big businesses, small businesses. But again, what I tell people is you're going to learn from me so you don't end up potentially like me. And I don't want anybody to go through a bankruptcy, a home foreclosure, both cars being repossessed. 2013, Elizabeth, was one of my best years for learning, but one of my worst years for life.
Wow, that's very powerful. And it is really important in organizations to have an outsider come in and do kind of the difficult work, because I know exactly, I worked in corporate, I know exactly what you're saying. You don't want to be the person that raises your hand, because then they're just going to say, kill the messenger, right?
Yep. Well, of course. Or they're gonna say, oh, well, here she goes again, more bad news. Or what is she going to talk about this time? And it's not fair, because all you're trying to do, Elizabeth, is deliver the message of what the customer's saying, not how you feel. And you get caught in the middle, and it's not fair. So we actually have our team call with them on Friday about ways to really to kind of diminish the way you're going to respond to people, and learn how to have, accept the feedback, have consistent feedback and dialogue. So if you have these things happen, it's not going to be very catastrophic, because the sales team member feels that they can say it without, being judged or looked at in a harsh manner.
Well, so have you built this company back up to where you were, the one you have now?
Oh, no, I mean, not to that point, no, different industry, but we're doing exceptionally well now, with where we are. I mean, we're definitely, a business that is on the way to where we were for my first business. But again, of course, construction is going to be something where you do more volume, but of course, there's a lot more expenses in construction between office and equipment rental and things like that. So for where we are, though, as far as profitability, we're much better off today. And but also, we're very smart in how we have a good team, Elizabeth. And I don't make moves to do anything with our team because I have a partner and I have people I have to, of course, answer to. And I've learned that's a great way to create checks and balances so I don't get into trouble like I did in my first business when I thought I knew everything and I made a lot of, emotional, non-cognitive business decisions.
Well, and I think the team is very important because if you are looking for investor money, if you're an entrepreneur or any other kind of business that maybe wants investor money, they always look at the team. That's the most important thing to investors.
It
So
is.
yeah, so that is really important that you help them build the powerful team and avoid the pitfalls that you went through, and that you also can come as an outside consultant and take on some of the hard work that the people that are lower than management may not feel comfortable doing, but with the message management needs to hear. So those
Right.
are powerful. Those are powerful things for a business. Is there anything else that you want to say about your business now or yourself?
No, I mean, no. Again, if anybody's looking for a speaker to help them with their organization, or someone's looking for a consultant to come in and help with like either professional development programs, help with some group coaching, just you can go to our website, which is www.marcus, MARQUES, Ogden, OGDEN.com. And go on there, get us, get in touch with us, dialogue with us. Again, consultations are always free, but I'm very fortunate that a lot of big organizations have allowed us to work for them and utilize their logos and their testimonials, because that's the only way I tell my clients, if you want to build a successful empire, what you say about yourself will build your self-confidence. What others say about you is going to build your book of business, plain and simple. So that's the way you have to look at it.
Oh, that's a good tagline. I didn't touch on one thing that I want to touch on quickly. So where do you give speeches? Where do you do your speaking, and what topics do you hit on?
So I do speaking, when I go to clients, I go to like their headquarters, or they do like a conference. So it could be, I've been all over the country, Los Angeles, DC, Texas, Miami, Orlando, up to Seattle, to Buffalo, New York, for I've been to Canada for clients doing speaking events. And I do a lot of speaking around topics like leadership, how to create and sustain a healthy culture, done some work on diversity and inclusion. I've done some work on growth strategies and tactics. I've done some work on, communication. So, there's a good array of topics that I've done a lot of work on, and people can see those on our website as well. So again, I always tell people to look at our website, look at some of our videos, look at some of our client logos, and then if you feel we can add value to your organization, reach out to us. We can have a conversation, see, where that potentially could go.
That sounds wonderful. Well, thank you, Marcus. I think anyone that gets to work with you is really fortunate because you're the whole deal, right?
Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. I think it's always nice to get out with people like yourself who are doing great things, promoting people, and doing a lot of cross marketing and branding. And excited to work with you and your brand on doing some more work with you. But again, thanks for having me on your show. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Marcus.